In this series, I will explain and compare the Japanese names and the English names of some Pokemon. Since I don't know how to determine which names are better objectively, I'll give you my personal biased opinions. If you disagree with my opinions, good for you. In this first episode, we will go over the names of the starters from Generation 1 and their evolutions, except for the yellow version, because Pikachu's name is not localized. Let's begin. National Dex number 1, Fushigibana or Bulbasaur. The name Fushigibana is made up of two words, Fushigi, which means strange or mysterious, and Dane or Tane, which literally translates to seed. This name is also a pun on the phrase Fushigidane, which means strange, isn't it? The English name Bulbasaur is the combination of bulb and saur, which is related to the Greek word for lizard, and it often appears in the names of dinosaurs. Now, which name is better? The English word bulb is more accurate than tane or seed, because obviously the thing on this Pokemon's back looks more like a bulb than a seed. The English morpheme saur, however, may not be so accurate, because this Pokemon looks like a toad, which is an amphibian, rather than a lizard, which is a reptile. Perhaps the Japanese word fushigi or mysterious refers to this Pokemon's ambiguous classification between an amphibian and a reptile, or simply the fact that there is a giant bulb on its back. So in terms of descriptive accuracy, I would say these names are roughly equal and each name gets 1 point. However, the Japanese name has an extra layer of meaning, even though it is a silly pun, so the Japanese name gets half a point for creativity. Since there is not much else to say, I'm going to declare my personal winner, Fushigibana. National Dex number 2, Fushigisaur or Ivysaur. The only change from its pre-evolution is that the word dane is replaced with saur, which can mean plant if written with this kanji. So it is literally strange plant. However, it is also a pun on the phrase Fushigisaur, which means it seems strange or mysterious, or possibly this creature may be curious about something, because Fushigisaur can refer to both how you perceive this Pokemon and what this Pokemon may be thinking. Its English name is pretty similar to its pre-evolution's name, except for the fact that Bulba is replaced with Ivy. Ivy, however, is not an immediately obvious feature of this Pokemon, although we know from playing the video games that this Pokemon does in fact utilize Ivy in its attacks, but so do Bulbasaur and Venusaur, and therefore having an Ivy is not a definitive or exclusive characteristic of this Pokemon. The English name, therefore, gets half a point. The Japanese word saur refers to plant in general, and this Pokemon does have leaves, which were not present in its pre-evolution. The Japanese name therefore gets 1 point for descriptive accuracy. However, I personally feel that the most obvious change from its pre-evolution is the change from the bulb on its back to the bud. But I do understand that no one wants a Budsaur or Fushigitsubomi, strange bud, both of which do not sound very appealing. So no deductions here. The Japanese name, again, is a pun, albeit silly, so half a point is added to the Japanese name. So overall, I believe the Japanese name is slightly better than its English counterpart. National Dex number 3, Fushigibana or Venusaur. The final evolution, Fushigibana, follows the same pattern. So is replaced with bana or hana, which literally means flower, so it is a strange flower. Unfortunately, this phrase Fushigibana is not a pun, so Game Freak got less creative when naming this Pokemon. The Japanese name gets 1 point for the descriptive accuracy, but I'm going to deduct half a point for the lack of creativity. The English name replaces Ivy with Vena, which likely derives from the word Venus. The Roman goddess Venus is often associated with plants, flowers, and fertility, among many other things. And there is also a carnivorous plant called the Venus flytrap. The English name does not really describe this Pokemon in the literal sense, but the possible symbolism in its name gives this Pokemon 1 point for the creativity, which means the winner is Venusaur. National Dex number 4, Hitokage, Charmander. Both the Japanese name and the English name reference the same mythical creature, namely Salamander. Salamander is a lizard that people in the past believed to be able to live in fire. The Japanese name, Hitokage, literally means fire lizard, which is quite a literal description of this Pokemon. So the Japanese name gets 1 point, but it loses half a point for the lack of creativity. The English name, Charmander, is the combination of the word char, which means to burn, and salamander. So it is basically a salamander that can turn you into a charcoal. The English name therefore is a good description of the Pokemon, and it gets 1 point, and I'm going to give it half a point for not being too literal like the Japanese name. So the winner is the English name, Charmander. National Dex number 5, Lozado or Charmeleon. The Japanese name Lizado is the Japanese pronunciation of the word lizard. -1 point for the lack of creativity. The English name, on the other hand, is the combination of Char and Chameleon, but this Pokemon does not resemble a chameleon and doesn't have the ability to change its color. At least they were trying to be creative with this one's name, so I'm going to deduct half a point. Both names got negative points, so the less bad name, Charmeleon, is going to be the winner. National Dex number 6, Lizardon, Charizard. The Japanese name adds n to the name of its pre-evolution, Lizardo. The morpheme don makes this Pokemon sound like a dinosaur, and don is also a Japanese onomatopoeia for the sound of a drum, a gun, or any short, loud, and low-frequency sound. I like Lizardon as a Pokemon, but its name is very uninspired, so it gets 0 points. The English name combines the word char and lizard, which follows the pattern of the Japanese names. This name is also quite uninspired, so no point for either name. So, it's a tie. National Dex number 7, Zenigame or Squirtle. The name Zenigame is the combination of Zeni, which means money, and Game or Kame, which is turtle. Zenigame also refers to babies of certain kinds of turtles, so I am assuming that the first meaning of this Pokemon is supposed to be a pun. But this Pokemon is otherwise completely unrelated to money, so Zenigame gets 0 points. The English name, Squirtle, combines the word squirt and turtle, so it is a turtle that squirts water. The English name gets 1 point for the descriptive accuracy. The English name therefore is better. National Dex number 8, Kameru or Wartortle. The Japanese name Kameru is based on the word kame, turtle, but the ending of this name is not immediately obvious. I don't think this is a pun on any word in Japanese. The name itself is pretty boring and uninspired, so I am going to deduct half a point. The English name Wartortle is the combination of 3 words, war or warrior, tortoise, and turtle. The combination of tortoise and turtle is pretty redundant, so a partial deduction of half a point. But I appreciate the attempt to combine 3 words, so I'm going to negate the deduction. Also, this Pokemon definitely looks more combative than its pre-evolution, so the addition of the morpheme war may be appropriate. I'm going to give the English name half a point for this. The winner, again, is the English name. National Dex number 9, Kamexu or Blastoise. The final Pokemon in this video is Kamexu in Japanese. Just like Kameru, the name Kamexu is not the most creative name. The morpheme kame means turtle or tortoise. In Japanese, we don't normally distinguish between a turtle and a tortoise. The ending of this name doesn't really mean anything in Japanese, just like the ending of the name Kameru. Overall, this is a pretty lame and literal name, so I'm not going to give it any points. The English name, Blastoise, is the portmanteau of the word blast and the word tortoise. This Pokemon is indeed a tortoise, and it does have cannons sticking out of its shell that can blast you with hydro pumps, so this name is descriptively accurate and gets 1 point. Also, I personally find this name pretty appealing, so I'm going to give it half a point as a bonus. The English name therefore wins again. The results are in: Team Original got 2 wins, Team Localization got 6 wins, so overall I am more impressed by the English names.